As a new DM, it's tempting to jump headfirst into complex world building or intricate rule systems. But starting simple will help you get a handle on running the game without feeling overwhelmed. You can ease into it by running pre-mades like Lost Mines of Phandelver or Dragon of Icespire Peak, which gives you a clear structure to follow while learning the ropes. These modules provide storylines, NPCs and encounters that will guide you through the process step by step. When you're ready to try homebrewing, begin with small, manageable settings. A one-town adventure or a dungeon crawl can be a perfect starting point. You don't need to create an entire world straight away. Focus on a small area that lets you pay attention to characters and events in that space. Additionally, familiarise yourself with the basic rules. Knowing how to handle combat, skill checks and saving throws will get you through most situations. As you gain confidence, you can explore more advanced mechanics like spell casting, social encounters and environmental effects. Embrace improvisation. No matter how much you prepare, your players will always find ways to surprise you. They may come up with creative solutions to solve puzzles and take the story in a completely different way, or interact with NPCs in a way you hadn't anticipated. When this happens, lean into it. Be flexible and open to their ideas. The usual rule of thumb is to say yes and whenever possible. This keeps the momentum going and rewards players for thinking outside the box. However, if something is game-breaking and completely destroys the story, you can modify their excess. If they want to talk their way out of a fight with an intimidating monster, maybe they succeed, but need to make a deal with the creature in return. If you ever feel stuck during improvisation, rely on the environment, NPCs, or even dice rolls to guide the story. Don't be afraid to pause and think for a second. The players will understand if you need a moment to regroup your brain cells. Your confidence in making quick decisions will grow over time. But remember, improvisation often leads to the most memorable moments in your game sessions. Balance rules with fun. Wow, how small am I? While it's important to learn the rules of the game, being overly strict with them can sometimes kill the fun and slow things down. If a situation arises where you don't know the rule, don't spend too much time searching through books and PDFs or whatever. Make a quick decision on what feels fair, explain that to the players and move on. You can always check the rules later and modify that rule from there on. If a player wants to attempt something that's a little outside the rules, like swinging from a chandelier and stabbing an enemy mid-air, don't deny it because it's unconventional. Instead, call for the acrobatics check and a subsequent attack roll, and if they succeed, it's an epic move. If they fail, they might awkwardly miss, but it still creates an exciting moment. If all players are excited and engaged, slight deviations from the rules won't bother anyone. You're there to facilitate a good time rather than be a rules enforcer. And if they come back next session, you must be doing something right. Engage your players. A great game isn't just about the DM telling a great story. It's about all the players contributing to that story. Make sure each player has a chance to shine by involving their characters in the plot. You can do this by incorporating the backstories, creating moments tailored to their characters' abilities, or just giving them the spotlight to shine during encounters. If you have a player who is playing a rogue, set up scenarios where stealth and sleight of hand are useful. If another player is playing a wizard, have them find a spell book which connects to a larger arc in the story. Little moments like that will help players feel more immersed. Also be mindful of the quieter or newer players who need some encouragement to participate. Use an NPC to talk direct to them, forcing them to have a little bit of a talk back. Or simply say, how does your character feel in this situation? How do they react to this? Learn from your mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable, and that's alright. Every DM, even the most experienced ones, make mistakes. Whether it's forgetting a rule, misjudging a challenge, or having encounters that don't go as planned. The important thing is to learn from those moments and reflect on them later. What worked well, what didn't, what would you have done differently? But ultimately, were the players engaged? Was the pacing smooth? For example, if a combat encounter took way too long and the players looked bored, adjust the mechanics next time, or make the stakes clearer. If the players end up confused about the story, give explicit directions, or recap events that are most likely to be important. Don't be afraid to ask your players for feedback as well. They might have good ideas for making the whole game run smoother. It's no offence to you. Your whole DM life is an experience where you learn and hone and repeat and fail. But you will have a style of your own, and hopefully you will have players who get used to that or help you hone it so that they enjoy it more. By following these tips and staying flexible, you'll not only improve as a DM, but create an engaging, fun experience for the players. Enjoy the journey, don't be afraid to fail, and you'll grow along the way.